Hi, everybody. Today we're looking at 55 plus communities in Central Florida, pros and cons. So if 55 plus is on your option list for your home in Central Florida, this is a video for you. I'm Jannett Charlton, your Orlando Realtor with Lifestyles Realty. For more information on the 55 plus communities or other properties in the Orlando area, please call or text 321-332-4317 or visit getorlandoproperties.com. As usual, a thumbs up and a subscription to my channel is greatly appreciated. Here in Central Florida, we have several 55 plus communities. So if you're considering one of these, you definitely want to take a close look at the deed restrictions, the HOA. So a regular HOA community, they have their rules and regulations, but with the 55 plus, it's that, then some. So in Florida, there's an 80-20 rule, which states that at least 80% of the residences must have at least one resident that's 55 or older. Now, where does that leave the other 20%? And what exactly does that mean? So it seems to be somewhat of a gray area. So you want to make sure that you fully understand what that means for the community that you want to live in. Okay? Because if you're someone who wants total quiet and you're not wanting any children at all, that might not be 100% the case. And we will take a look at that in just a minute. Now, where can you find these communities? They're all over Central Florida. Some of them are in cities like Orlando, Poinciana, Apopka, Davenport, and many others, Winter Garden included. And so they all range in prices and sizes, from price-wise, I would say from the high 300s to over $1 million. So it really just depends on your preferred location, your lifestyle requirements, and your budget, and see how that all fits together. What I always tell clients is that you want to make sure that you take a really good look at the restrictions. You want to get that in writing, preferably, so you can see exactly what the rules are and compare that to a community that's not a 55 plus. So restrictions are things like perhaps regarding pets. If you're someone that has a pet, you may have to look at the type of breed, the size of the pet, and how many pets you could have. Okay, there could be restrictions around that. Also, do you have adult children or family members that come for extended stays? Will that be allowed? Some communities allow 14 days, some 30 days. And are they allowed to stay in your residence? Let's say if you're away on vacation, can they come and stay in your residence without you being there? That's a question mark that needs to be answered. Are you someone that has grandchildren that comes for stays during the summertime? Same thing, how long can they be there for? Are they going to be allowed to go, let's say, to the pool or to the other facilities without you being present? So all of these things come into play. And another question is, life happens, and if one of your grandchildren perhaps or family members need to come and live with you, then how does that fit in? Especially if they're a minor, how does that fit in with the other 20% that I mentioned before? These are questions that you definitely want to have answered and look closely. But if you're someone who none of these are a concern, then most likely 55 plus would be your cup of tea. Okay, so let's talk amenities. So amenities is what's really exciting about 55 plus versus one that's not 55 plus. Because at a regular community that's not 55 plus, you're looking at perhaps a clubhouse, a pool, you have a gym, or maybe a little meeting space that you can go to. 55 plus is really geared to be self-contained when it comes to activity. It's for active lifestyle, have a lot of things that will, give credence to your soul and your mind, right? And your body. So you will find classes, fitness classes, perhaps classes in painting or arts and crafts. You may have scheduled exercise classes. Sometimes there are trips outside of the community that you go on together. All of these possibilities. Sometimes there's a restaurant on site. There's all sorts of meeting places and things that you can do, computer classes and such. So there's a lot of things going on. It just depends on the community and what they have to offer. So again, you want to balance your lifestyle expectations with all of that. Now, amenities kind of tie into the HOA dues, right? You are going to have HOA dues just like you are with another community. But keep in mind, so the HOA, you're paying a premium for all of these extra activities that a community that's not a 55 plus doesn't have, right? But a lot of these also have your landscaping and irrigation included in that price. So that's something you want to take a look at, because if you had to pay for that outside of that 55 plus anyway, it might make sense for you to pay for that with all the other activities that are part of the 55 plus community. Okay, so now that I've summed this up for you, what are the key takeaways here? Well, once you have decided on your desired location, your lifestyle expectations, and your budget, then you can sort of narrow down the communities. If you want to take a look at the communities that are non 55 plus and the communities that are 55 plus, they're both good options. They're both really nice communities in either way, but it all depends on, again, what your lifestyle is. What is it that you want to be able to do that you can do right on site versus having to go outside the community? So you want to know that, and then you want to also make sure you get a copy of the rules and regulations, that you go over them in detail with the management to make sure you understand that thoroughly. When whatever you decide to do, we just want to make sure that you're happy, contented, and looking forward to a great time in your new home.